Hello everyone, I'm Will and welcome to Hollywood Multipass. It's considered one of the best horror movies of all time, and after seeing it many times, I 100% agree. This is John Carpenter's The Thing.
I know I'm human. Some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, then it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill it. And then it's won.
You guys gonna listen to Gary? He can beat one of those things!
Since fear of infection, violence, and isolation seem to be a common occurrence right now, I thought, what movie best captures those worries other than The Thing? When I saw this movie for the first time as a kid, it scared the crap out of me. The visuals of the creature really stuck with me as a kid, but as I got older, it was more the characteristics of the creature that really frightened me. Its ability to take over a host's body and blend in perfectly with any species was truly terrifying. How do you find something alien that could be hiding in plain sight as a human? This is my favorite monster in any movie simply because of this ability, and how it psychologically affects everyone around it with paranoia and fear just by existing among them. As we all know, there's nothing more dangerous than a paranoid, untrusting, and desperate group of people. Among the scientists, doctors, the radio guy, and the head of the station, there's Kurt Russell, who plays one of the helicopter pilots. He's the one we follow through this disastrous chain of events that worsens and worsens for everyone at this Arctic station. Kurt Russell brings this strong presence of leadership and dependability among his peers. He's the guy you can count on, the level-headed one, someone you can trust and confide in. Usually in horror movies you can count on some pretty bad acting, but in The Thing, everyone is amazing. Don't believe me? Even the dog was great. That is still to this day the greatest performance by a dog ever. He should have won an Oscar, honestly.
You should have got Oscar.
I saw better acting from this dog than I've seen in most Hollywood movies out there, and that says a lot about Hollywood. I mean, it can't be that hard to outclass a dog in acting, right? Right? In all seriousness though, the sense of fear and uneasiness has to be believable in order for the story to work, and all the actors absolutely nail it, even the dog. The tensions, arguments, and accusations that are rampant throughout the second half of the movie perfectly fuel the fire of this story. And they're all justified for sticking to their guns and behaving the way they do towards each other. You just don't know who you can trust. While watching the movie, you're constantly on edge and uncertain of who's still human. Very few members of the station are revealed on camera being captured and transformed into the Thing, leaving you on the same journey as the rest of the crew. It's a guessing game for them and for us the entire movie. Even after it's all over, you'll still be guessing who's who and when they were possibly alone with the Thing. It's what makes rewatching this movie over and over so enjoyable. The build-up to the creature's reveal is well-paced, a nice slow setup for things to come. Get it? Things? Boo! The pacing throughout the whole movie is well done. John Carpenter really put a lot of love and effort into this film, and it shows. Once you learn how the monster works and how it can perfectly imitate its host on a cellular level, you start realizing the chances of survival for these guys getting slimmer and slimmer. The grotesque imagery and effects from legend Rob Bottin and his team are phenomenal. He's worked on other amazing films with great effects like RoboCop, Inner Space, Legend, and Total Recall. But his dedicated work on The Thing is still one of my favorite examples of practical effects. After he was finished on this project, he was hospitalized for exhaustion, pneumonia, and a bleeding ulcer. Now that's commitment to your craft. The music is composed by iconic genius Ennio Morricone, who recently passed away. May he rest in peace. He sets the tone of the film, immersing it in tension and suspense. I also noticed the music plays an homage to those classic creature features from the 50s and 60s. You get the same chills and familiar sounds of dread that those classic soundtracks give you. And John Carpenter's choices of when to best utilize Morricone's score is praiseworthy. He deliberately chooses not to use any music at all in some scenes, leaving the audience with nothing to hold on to except for their own fear and worry. What I really admire about this movie is how serious it takes its plot, and how there really isn't any subplots. There's no love story behind it all, there's no deep-seated rivalry between characters, there's no jumping back and forth between locations. It's just a bunch of guys trying to survive this horrible situation. And in this situation in particular, I'm pretty sure there wouldn't be any time to focus on anything else except for the problem at hand. And the film does exactly that. It focuses on how everyone deals with their situation. You can relate to any one of these characters and how they feel and how they react. The Thing in nature is a very claustrophobic film. These guys are trapped and isolated with a monster they can't see until it's too late. And as an audience member, you feel trapped with them, desperately wanting to keep your eyes fixed on everyone just to make sure you know who's still human. And feeling like anything or anyone can jump out at you at any given moment. The Thing is a wonderful masterpiece, not just in the horror category, but in film in general. This, for me, is hands down John Carpenter's best film to date. It was not a box office success and was panned by most critics, but in time it became a cult classic. And now it's overcome its cult status and become a highly revered film in pop culture, referenced in popular TV and films. After all these years, it still stands as an achievement in special effects and storytelling. I give John Carpenter's The Thing a buy. So wait till nighttime, turn off all the lights, eliminate all distractions, and enjoy this horror classic. And that's my review of The Thing. What's your favorite horror movie? Leave a comment and recommendation below. Thank you so much for watching, like and share the video, and I'll see you next time on Hollywood Multipass.
There's nothing else I can do. Just wait.